Podcast. It is your girl, Chris Bryant. And today, before we get into the magic of the hour, the main topic, I want to get started with something real, something that I discuss every time I get to go live, and that is mental health. This is our mental health moment. I am definitely going to get through this mental health moment, and then I'm going to finalize what I was telling you guys about on series one, and then I'll start into series two of the City Highlights podcast with your girl, Chris Bryan, brought to you by the GMT Broadcasting Company. All right, all right. Let me see if I can fix this light a little bit. It's a little bright. I look a little hot. I hope that fixes it. Uh, now, see, this is where the extra people come in. All right. Oh, I got somebody in there. Hey, Teeter. Hey, Teeter, how you doing? All right. So I'm on my YouTube live. I'm over here on my Instagram on this one, and I'm on my Facebook and YouTube here. So, all right, we have to start basically normalizing conversations around mental health. Too many of us were raised in the times where we were told to pray it away or just be strong. But strength isn't silence. Strength claiming all of your self back. That is what strength is, not being in an unhealthy cycle. Therapy, it isn't just for the crisis mode. It's for healing, it's for growth, it's for self-awareness. And listen, you know therapy can be expensive. And you know coaching and counseling might feel like a luxury, but let me tell you this. So is self-destruction. And you're worth it. There is no way that you can honestly tell yourself that you're being smarter by not spending the money that you may very well need to heal and to move forward. So, with that being said, I want us to eradicate the stigmas of mental health, especially in the Black community. Today, I want us to make a commitment to ourselves, to our own mental health and happiness, and start with saying yes to the help that's available to you and take it if you need it. Don't be afraid to say that, hey, I can't do this one by myself. You don't have to feel alone, and you absolutely are not alone. You are not the first, and you won't be the last to deal with mental anything. So take care of yourself. Be sure to get the help that you need because you are absolutely not alone. We're here and we could talk about it. If you need a partner, you need someone that you can just kind of express how you feel, a venting space, a safe space to fall apart. Hit me in my DMs. I will make myself available to you just to be an ear and a heart, to extend myself and share with you that you are not alone and show you. Because it's not about what you say, it's about what you do, and your actions speak louder than your words. So I am here. I'm not just telling you to take care of your mental health. I'm also advocating for you and telling you that I'm available if you need someone. And if I don't know what to tell you or how to get you where you need to go, I'll definitely have a resource of people that I can get you to. All right. So that's our mental health moment. Now that we've got that out and we got our minds right, let's get into today's episode. No, I take that back. Let's finish from last week's episode. I just kind of wanted to kind of close off on that one because basically I was talking about, um, a lot of stuff that I didn't close off. So I wanted to take the moment to because it was something that in my closing that I really, really wanted to share with you guys before we go. This is the City Highlights Podcast Growth Series. That was episode one. So I want you to remember to keep it real, protect your energy, and never forget your worth. Stay litty in the city and keep building. So now we can get into episode two. I said I could not start this episode without finalizing and closing out that last part because it was very important. It is very important with this series that I assure to give you guys challenges so you guys can grow and get better with me as well as challenge yourself and kind of speak to the conversation. I'm talking about podcasting and brand building and business, just business all together in a nice little nutshell. This all speaks to business. So, with that being said, welcome back to the City Highlights podcast. It's your girl Chris, and today, before we get into anything else, I want to let you know that if you have services, if you're in need of services, if you want to promote your brand, if you want to basically get your brand exposure, please reach out to me. I'm here to help. I'm here at your service. So you can call me on 832-881-4331. You can hit me on my social medias and send me a DM. Folks get married at the DM, so why not do business at the DMs? Send me an email, kbryant.ehm@gmail.com. That's KBRYANT dot period. E as in Ed, H as in Hicks, M as in music, M as in management. EHMM@gmail.com. And trust me, I'm a strategist. I can tell you what I can do to help you. And again, if I don't got the services or got what it takes or what you need, I have the resources to get you there. Okay. Like I said, let's get into this. If I had a redo. So the first segment is going to be the back in the day segment, how not knowing was a plus. And a lot of people think when I went into this, I didn't know what I was doing. And I said, I really thought that I had a disadvantage. In all sincerity, me not knowing what I was doing really gave me the opportunity to create the space. Because when I started doing podcasting and radio and speaking to the camera into an empty room, um, it was not popular. This was pre-pandemic. So this is before everybody was in the box. I was in the box doing what I could to influence the city of Houston and let people know about what the amazing people I knew had going on, the events, the celebrations, the people, the places, the things of my city. So I was blazing a trail and didn't even know that I had created a space. So that for me, on hindsight, on the back end, I don't know. When I first started in media, I had no idea what I was doing. And looking back, that was actually a blessing in disguise. It was good that I didn't know because the mistakes I made, nobody else knew they were mistakes because nobody else was doing what I was doing, right? See, when you don't know right away what you're doing or you don't know everything about something, you can make your own way. I wasn't trying to fit into someone's mold or follow someone's notebook. I was just moving, creating, making space. And that's why I say if I had a redo, I wouldn't have tried so hard to appeal to a mass market. I would have earned all of what I've gotten. I would have earned it and learned as I earned. I spent a lot of money going to all these, different seminars and sitting in with these Zooms. And this is before Zoom was even popular, trying to learn how to be a good radio personality when all I had to do when was be me. It was my personality. It was me being me that even got me the opportunity in the first place. So instead of trying to redo and fit and mold myself into something else, I should have just been grateful for who I was and what I was, right? And I am, and I was, but I spent a lot of coin that I did not have to spend trying to become something that I am not and will never be. In this space now, as you see, I'm comfortable, right, wrong, or indifferent. I don't have a problem with sharing my experiences, my opinion, because my opinion is important. It's important. Who is it? Hey, Millie. Hey, Millie. All right, I opened it up. So if you want to come in, you can. All right. Sorry about that. I have to make sure and engage because when I'm on this YouTube and this Facebook, there may be comments, people may be talking back, but I have not quite figured out how with this Riverside. Now, when I was with StreamYard, they gave me it was pretty plug and play. I could log in and all my content was right there, my comments. I can kind of click back and forth. Riverside, not so much, but I love Riverside. There's so many other amenities that come with Riverside that I didn't have with StreamYard, which is why I would sacrifice being able to see those comments because I can click into my Facebook and see them if I just actually wanted to. But I would sacrifice that to have the other amenities as far as like sound and clips and all the other things that Riverside does for me. Yeah, I'll stay right on over here. I'll stay right on over here. I'll stay right on over here. I don't know. What's my? Are you trying to join me, Millie? Okay, so let's get back into content. Focus, focus, grasshopper, focus. But that's another thing that I love about this space is it's not about perfection. It's not about being able to. I am not a newscaster, and I don't desire to get up here and just regurgitate news. But I am a communicator, and I enjoy being able to speak to the masses. And when I say to the masses, I've looked at some of my analytics, and I've been amazed that my podcast has gotten views from as far as Africa. Now, I don't know if you know what impresses you guys or what you consider your level of success, but being able to reach people in countries that I have yet to visit, that's success for me. That's amazing. And they engage. So hey, that means not only am I communicating, but we're having a whole conversation clear across the country. I think that's amazing. I don't know about you guys, but I think that's absolutely amazing. But anyway, all right. So I wasn't trying to follow someone's note. I was just moving, creating, and making space. And that's why I say if I had a redo, I wouldn't have tried so hard to appeal to a mass market. I would have learned all the way and I would have leaned all the way to into me, more urban, more culture, more black, period. Blackety black, 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 black. Because now with the state of the world looking like the target, the DEI, and all this conversation that's created around my blackness, I love it. I love my people. I love everything. I love the world. I love everybody. I love God's creatures. But my people, the black people, the blackity black, I love my culture. We are amazing. We don't follow trends, we create them. And we're not a monolith. We're not one dimensional. We are we're an amazing culture. And I could blow the horn about the blackness for about another hour, but I'm not. I'm gonna stick to the topic and I'm gonna keep on staying on the main line because I want to get into this conversation. More urban, more black, right? And that's what brings me into this topic today: the Zeus Network. Woo, this a fallout, child. Listen, I ain't even gonna lie. I love my ratchet reality TV. It's entertaining. It's wild, and it's an internet gold mine. I mean, you're gonna watch when it comes to ratchet reality. No matter even if you're a closet ratchet reality, when it comes to ratchet reality, it's entertaining, and it's kind of like watching a car accident. You don't want to look, but you don't want to miss anything. You want to make sure that you can be able to chronologue and tell anybody that needs to know what happened, that kind of thing. That's what ratchet reality is for me. I don't want to admit that I love ratchet reality, but I do. I watch Baddies every Sunday, and I watch the Erica Mena. Oh my God. But you know what? I've been really strongly thinking about um having conversations about that, especially after today. I know it's going to be a worthy conversation to discuss what's going on with Zeus and recapping the episodes. And I could do it because when I say I watch them every Sunday, I start about 3 o'clock, see what Jason got going on, and then after Jason, I make my way on into the baddies Midwest. I can't wait for the reunion. I hate the way they do the recaps because you don't know what's really going on. Like it's moving so fast, and that's to get you to make sure you tune in right. Um, but I don't miss my subscription payments. How about that? I love my retro reality TV. It's entertaining as wild. It's internet gold mine. But watching how things are playing out, it's a reminder. If you don't own your narrative, someone else will. If you don't see your value, someone else will use you up and move on to the next. I'm gonna say that one more time and a little bit louder for the people in the back, not the people in the black, but the people in the back in black. If you don't see your value, someone else will use you up and move on to the next. And if you on here and you haven't experienced that and you can't speak to that, then that means you're not being a buck with yourself. You're not keeping it 100 with yourself. And I'm never going to do that to me. I'm going to always be real with myself. When I fuck up, I'm the first person and probably the loudest to speak to my fuckery. And that is because it's always going to be a lesson learned, period. Period, point blank. In my mistakes, I believe that they are lessons. And if you don't learn from them lessons, they're going to keep coming back. You're gonna keep experiencing it. So learn from them. Make sure they lessons. That's why I wish if I had started from day one, making sure that my voice and my vision and my brand were the priority, and not just doing what I thought would be marketable. But hey, we live, we learn, and now we adjust. So let's get into segment two. And that's another thing that I really need to figure out about this, because I'm only limited to lives. So I might have to do StreamYard so I can do some I don't know. I'm gonna figure it out. But I really do not like not being able to bring in clips and have stuff to share with you guys. I really not like that part of it. But it is what it is. Hold on, y'all. I drive my earring. I'm in this little corner. All right. I hate this time of season. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Next segment is gonna be things to do in the little city. So let's get into things to do and things not to do when building a podcast, a brand, or a platform. Do protect your intellectual property. Stop telling everybody your ideas before you have contracts in place. People will steal. Trust me when I say you will see what you shared recreated before you are able to do it yourself if you don't keep it to yourself until you've absolutely got all the paperwork in order, because this is your intellectual property and your IP must be protected by any means. Don't just chase what's viral. Content trends come and go. Build something that will last. Y'all, when I look back on some of those trends that I participated in, it almost get cringy. But then I look on some of them, it makes me laugh because it really shows my personality. I am a silly, goofy person. Now, me being on a reel with my hair not combed, looking disheveled, saying some lines that are entertaining, not so much. So, you live and you learn. Build something that would last, be consistent. And that's one thing I can honestly say in my narrative, I have been very consistent. And it's because I'm truly being authentically who I am. Who you meet in the streets, who you see on this live, this is me. And there's no changing it to a fault. I am who I am. Because why? I love me, flaws and all. Do invest in quality sound and visuals. In 2024, bad audio is unacceptable. But in 2025, it makes no sense. You don't have to have the most expensive. You don't have to have the best. And I'm pulling my own slip, right? Get a good mic. If you're doing videos, get the right light. Clean up your background and stop recording in the dark. Y'all look, you don't have your proper lighting. Y'all see the difference? This is what improper lighting looks like. But it's amazing what a little light will do. Look at that. Look at that. Let me bring it back in. Now look where you were. Okay, there you was. All right, all right. Now let me get this one back. Let me get this one back. Do y'all see the difference? Do you see the difference? Now I gave y'all a in 4K visual of how much a difference lighting makes. See it? You see the difference? I know you see it. I know you see it. But anyway, that's what it's important. It's important that you get the best. Now, you don't have to have the best of the best, the top of the line, the most expensive, but get the best equipment that you can get that's within your financial lane. And then as you grow, upgrade your equipment. Trust me, what I had when I first started, I did not have. Trust me, there has been some upgrades. And there's also been some things that I took out or moved away from. Like I don't have that. I have that board, but I don't use that because that's a lot of work. Like you gotta know how to click it. No, I'm not. I don't want to do all that. I don't want to do that. If it gets to an aspect where that needs to be involved, then we'll have an engineer. We'll be on the line of when we have an engineer and they can do all that, right? Or when we have a product that we have to pre-record and then they could break it down and edit it and add all that in B-roll. Now, granted, the good thing about Riverside is I can always upload my content and they'll create the B-roll and they'll give me different shots and they'll give me clips. So again, be sure to invest in quality products that can assist you in doing some of the things that you cannot do if you don't have a whole team, right? One day we're going to have a team around here. One day we're going to have a team. Don't do free work just for exposure. Exposure doesn't pay the bills. If they have money for marketing, they have money for you. What you are doing is called marketing. If you have someone to come sit on your podcast and you have a conversation about their business and their brand, and then you push that out on all of your social media platforms, that's called marketing. That's called branding. That costs money. Don't give it away, period, point blank. And I'm not telling you what I didn't do. I'm telling you what not to do. And I'm telling you, don't do it because you can learn from my mistakes instead of having your own. Don't do nothing for free. And don't drop your price. Don't discount yourself because when you don't set your standards and you discount yourself, people will expect that's what you come with. And then the cheaper clients are the worst clients. The ones who want the discount, they're the worst clients. They want the most for that little bit of money. Now, somebody who paid you full price and don't give you no pushback about your pricing, they are the most amazing people to work with because they understand your value and they see your value and they know your worth. And those are the type of people that you should be doing business with. Because if you're not doing business with people that see your value, what you doing? Somebody is getting taken advantage of in that situation. And don't be the one that's taking advantage of people because then you build a reputation for usury too. And you don't want to be that girl either or that guy, right? Yeah. Do stay consistent. That's why I'm on here because I really do not feel like doing a live thing. My hair ain't combed. Y'all see, I'm looking here. I ain't got no curl. I ain't got nothing on it. And I barely just put a little something. I just did like a deep cleansing facial. So I'm afraid that my skin is going to be peeling. That's why, but right now I'm in the shining stage. So I said I better get on here and do this live while I'm in the shining stage, right? Because in a couple of days, So I gotta be consistent. If I want you guys to trust that when I come on here and I say something, that you can know that my word is bond, which you guys already know. If you on here and you know me, you know my word is bond, but I'm building. So there is a new person that may be looking at my live and not know a thing about me. And this is their first exposure and experience with me. So therefore, I want to make sure that I am always being integral in everything that I do, right? So I can move in confidence. Consistency is key to build. That's the way you build trust. When they know that you're going to come and do what you say, and you've already proven that you are who you say you are, and you're doing what you say you do, the numbers don't lie. And the minute I'm before we get off, I'm absolutely going to go and look at some of my analytics and kind of share with you guys, and you can see the growth because everything I've been looking at is the positive arrow. It's not where I want it, but it's going. So it's getting there, right? But what I noticed is the couple of weeks that I don't do something, March, I didn't do much of nothing. My numbers show that. So at the end of the day, numbers don't lie. You have to be consistent. And this is my form of consistency. And lastly, know your worth and charge for it. And ain't no more, I'll do it for free to get my name out there. If your content has value, your time has value too. Even if it's just 30 minutes, if it's just an hour, that's 30 minutes or an hour of investment time that you've invested in someone that doesn't even see your value. How much sense does that make? Make it make sense. And if you ain't making money, it ain't making sense. Period. Point blank. All right. So now we're going to get into segment three, which is the say what segment of the day. Y'all know this is my favorite segment because this is a segment where we have those conversations and we get into things that make you just kind of want to stop and be like, say what? Like for real? Like that's what happened? You did that? You said that? You felt that? So that's what that is. The topic title is going to be the changes I'd make and why. So yeah, it's to say what because remember earlier on in the beginning I said there's not much I would changes I would make because I'm glad that I was able to learn through trial and error. All right, all right. Let's get into the say what segment, also known as changes I'd make if I had a redo. First off, I would have been loud about who I am from the beginning. No more toning things down. Like, no, for real. I would walk in the room, never being a timid prior to get let me back up. Let me back that up. Prior to me getting into the media space, I was never the person to walk into the room and dim my light or shy away or be quiet. Like I walk into the room and I demand and command the attention of the room. That has always been who I am. Why? Because that's how my mama was. And I'm Lil Lisa. So at the end of the day, that has always been my personality. I've always been bold in who I am. So therefore, when I got into the media spaces, the intimidation of not being secure in that space allowed me to go into a quiet little shell and I would walk into rooms, y'all, and I would barely move around. I would be so leery about telling everyone who I am and what I did. That was a mistake. And I remember I went to, and I can share this with you guys. I went to a gathering right when I found out about the show. It was me and Nay and Shanika. We went to Greta's house. It was Greta's and Pat's birthday. So, with that being said, hold on, y'all. My phone died. And I didn't want it. I don't know how that happened. I hate when it dies because that means I'm not going to be able to have that live shoot. But anyway, no worries. That's my bad because yeah, I thought it was plugged in. That makes no sense. Okay, so anyway, so I went to Greta and Pat. Y'all from Houston, y'all Houstonians, that's all I gotta say. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? So it was Greta and Pat's birthday. They always have this amazing fire birthday party, right? And pool party. And y'all know the who's who is always at this gathering, right? Right. So this was I'm trying to remember what the time it's I usually at their birthday party. It may not be there the whole time, but they're gonna come in. You're gonna see them, right? So I'm there and I'm matriculating. I'm being who I am, but I absolutely have forgot about getting the radio show, getting the show, and my sister, my friend Nate, was like, "Yeah, my sister's got a radio show. She's gonna be on internet radio with GMT. Her show is da da da." And if you could have saw my face, I absolutely shrunk and I was so intimidated. And I was so afraid. And I so wanted her not to share my joy. And to this day, I don't understand what that feeling was. I don't know what that was about. But that was honestly, and it was a bunch of people, bunch of who's who. And I should have been like, yeah, that's me. And I got this, and I'm gonna do that, and this what's gonna happen. But in all sincerity, y'all, that it was not who I was when it came about my people in mental health. That's who I am. That's what I'm gonna be talking about, right? So, in the midst of me advocating for eradicating the negative stigmas of mental health, Kenji saw something in me that I didn't see in myself. So now I said yes, and you said yes. So now that you said yes, You have to step into that space. Well, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. In the very beginning, I gave a whole bunch of stuff away because I was insecure in that space. You don't have to be insecure in that space. You don't have to do what I did. You can step into your space boldly. You can be like I am now. Because I don't walk into the rooms and put my head down and scurry anymore. No, when I walk into rooms, I speak, I smile. I don't care who's in the room. You know, I I don't have to name names. You've been on my Instagram. You see who I've been in the room with, whose spaces that I've been in. So with that being said, why I love the first black president of these United States. Was it 44 or 45? President Obama forever. That may be the only person you're gonna see me bug out. But at anybody else, I mean, y'all are human. We all we bleed the same blood. I would hope so. If you're not bleeding the same blood, I'm bleeding. Neutral. Because let's be real, when we see where we aren't wanted, why do we keep trying to fit in? We are black, we are bold, and we are the culture. Instead of trying to adjust to be more appealing, I would have doubled down on everything that makes us great. I would have been the most blackly black girl in all those rooms, but because of my insecurities of not being really sure about the spaces I was in, I, I kind of, I'm not gonna say dim my light completely, but I was much more of a whisper, which is not a problem because you don't have to be loud. Your presence will precede you, but no more of that little, I'm just a little nobody. No, I am somebody. I am God's child. I'm amazing. And just because I took on a space that I was insecure about, that didn't take away from who I was. I was still the amazing person that I was, the amazing person that this man saw fit to even put me in the position, right? But it's your mindset. It's things that we do to ourselves, right? Also, I would have built out solid business mode from the start, a solid business model from the start. Now, like I said, I was very insecure, did not know what I was getting myself into, did not know what I was doing, did not know how to do what I was about to do, but I know that I was going to do it, right? Now, in hindsight, I would have first built the business model out, did it, and which I kind of did, but it was on a skim scam, wham wham, blim blam type of situation. This time I will be very structured, very strategic about the build out and the model from the start. I would have came in thinking, oh, people will just listen because it's good content. No, you need a strategy. How